afternoon. Hey, this is day 2, so we're still in the rough stages, but to get you started, I wanted to give you a little background. I'm Michelle Kay. I'm a business mentor and strategist, coach, fractional exec, whatever you want to call it. For 33 years, I've worked with over 1,200 entrepreneurs, my own business and others as well, from startups to 8 figures. I've impacted millions in business growth. Now, this doesn't make me special. It just means I've made every mistake there is to make, and I've learned what works when you strip away all the hype and BS. Now, you need to know about me. I don't do guru tactics. I don't do quick fixes. I don't do it for you, and I don't do fluff. I teach you how to build and scale like a CEO. And doing that through proven systems, solid operations, business fundamentals that actually work. We're not doing what's trending on Instagram or TikTok. Not what someone that is maybe 23 years old with a course selling the latest, greatest thing. Real business, real strategy for real owners. Every weekday in February, around 12:30, we're going to go live and give you straight talk on the 5 pillars that make or break your business. Monday is on metrics. Tuesday's on sales without the sleaze. Wednesday, systems and scale. And Thursday, just some real talk. Fridays, we kind of keep that open. If you're really tired of business BS and ready to actually build something that works, you're in the right place. So today, even though it's Friday, since we just started yesterday, and this is a whole new endeavor, we're going to jump right to the Tuesday sales approach. And I want to tell you how I built a business, 33 years in business, without spending a single solitary dime on ads. And most of you are doing this backwards. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place for ads, and I have clients that actually use that as one of their methods. But there's other ways you can do it as well. So let me talk to you about a conversation I had yesterday. I was on a call with a client, and this person's trying to get their coaching and speaking business off the ground. Super smart. Background in finance and some other areas. A super great heart and really wants to help people. And he asked me the question. It's the same one I get asked all the time. How do I get clients? How do I get started? He's actually been doing this for a couple of years, but not where he's actually been paid for what he's doing. So I asked him the major question. What are you doing right now to try and find your clients? And the first thing he did, and I hear this all the time, is start talking about building his website, creating a social media strategy, figuring out how to do videos on TikTok and Instagram and all the other things. And thinking about maybe some ads. Maybe that's going to get him the clients that he needs. Building a funnel. It kept going. And I stopped him. And I said, here's what I want you to do instead. I want you to ask every single person you talk to this week, who do you know that needs what I do? There's a little caveat to that. You have to know really clearly what you do and who you want to work with. And probably more importantly, who you don't want to work with. But that's a whole nother live. But that's it. That's the strategy. It's not complicated. It's not fancy and it's not expensive and it doesn't have to be. He truly looked at me like I had lost my mind. Because it's not what we've been told. It's not what we've been trained. It's not what so many people online are telling you. They want you to believe that you have to pay for ads and have all this complicated funnels and spend all this money on marketing, things like that. Many of these that we can't measure very well in order to get clients. I'm here to tell you that's BS. It's garbage. I literally have been in business for 33 years, a variety of industries. I've owned multiple companies. I have never paid for ads, not once. I actually built a multi-6-figure business in the construction industry nonetheless on one thing, relationships and referrals. Today, I'm going to talk to you about exactly how I do it. And that's the way I do things now. I think it's really important that we do this. But I also want you to know, I'm truly not for everybody. I don't do fluff. I don't do theory. I do what I know works. So let's jump right into it. Here's the deal. Most entrepreneurs do this when they need more clients. They go find somebody, or they do it themselves, and they buy a bunch of ads. Facebook ads, Google ads. Don't get me started on the cost of Google ads. Instagram, LinkedIn, all of these across the board. And they start at maybe 500, 1,000, 5,000 a month. They try to get in front of strangers that don't know them, that don't trust them, and they aren't ready to buy. And then they look at their conversion rates, or actually a lot don't even look at their conversion rates. But I can tell you 1% to 2% in most cases. Now, again, there's always a caveat, because I do have a company that I recommend to my clients when they want to go with ads and when it makes sense, when we talk through the entire strategy, and their return much, much higher. But I will tell you, in this industry, that is a very, very tiny percent. That's literally a unicorn, because there's a whole lot more to this, and we will uncover that as we move forward in the following weeks. But I'm going to tell you, cold traffic, it's expensive. It's slow, and it's exhausting. What's not expensive? Asking people that you already know, the people that already like you and trust you. And I'm not just talking about friends and family. I'm talking about the person that you stand next to in the Starbucks line. I've actually gotten business out of standing in a Starbucks line and having a conversation multiple times with people ordering their coffee, or the people behind working in Starbucks. And most of you, you're never going to even think to ask them. Because most of the clients that come to me, if they're already running ads, are so focused on, this is the answer, because everybody has told me the answer. Everybody online. The reality is, cold versus warm, there are so many warm leads sitting right in front of you. You think referrals just happen? Guys, they don't. They don't. Referrals happen when you are intentional with them, just like everything else, just like the money we talked about yesterday. You have to be intentional. You have to ask for them. And you have to make it easy for the person doing the referral. If you create a system, and again, we looked yesterday, it can be a simple spreadsheet. Simple systems. This changes everything. That's a strategy. It's not a wish. If you don't have a referral system, then you're definitely not asking consistently, because if you do, and again, I've got a spreadsheet for that. I kind of got a spreadsheet for everything. I love spreadsheets. You've got to also follow up. And if you're not tracking it with a system, I guarantee you are not following up. Even if you have a system, many times we're afraid to go back, and we're afraid to ask once, twice, 3 times. But it's also in how you ask. We're not doing a pushy, salesy thing. We're not doing anything that feels awkward. We're going to focus on a relationship and a conversation. And we're going to continually remind people what we do. And in order to do that, we have to be really clear with what we do. All right, back to our story. So the person I was talking to yesterday, and by the way, if you're one of my clients, you know I have complete confidentiality. I will share stories, but I will never tell you who it is unless they ask me to. So this guy's trying to build his business. He really wants to build it the right way. He wants to get out of his 9 to 5 and be able to have the opportunity to move into this for the freedom for his family. And when I told him to just ask people for referrals, he really did look confused. He came back and said, well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And I said, let me ask you something. If you found out that someone you know needed exactly what you do, and you could have helped them, but you never said anything because you didn't want to be pushy, you didn't want to make them feel weird, how would you feel? You got to be comfortable with what you're doing. And you also have to know that what you're offering is of value and that not everybody is right for you. And you're not right for everyone. And all you're doing is having a conversation with someone saying, hey, this is what I do. If you need this, I'd love to have a further conversation. If not you, if you run across anybody. Was it really clear what I'm actually doing, what I'm serving? Because that's a big problem as well. And we're going to talk about that next week for one of our lives. Because you have to be really clear. I have to understand exactly. You can't tell me I do marketing. That's a giant topic, guys. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Or I do leadership. Awesome. I don't have anybody I can refer to you because I'm not understanding the specifics of who you're looking for and what you're doing and why I should put my name out there and refer someone to you. And if we don't have a relationship, I'm probably not going to do that right off. But don't have the solution and keep it to yourself. It's not okay. It's not okay. If your job is to actually help people, you cannot help people if they do not know you're out there. Stop waiting for people to poof magically and start asking you what you do. And again, we are going to talk about the foundation. For me, relationship first. So it's the relationship first referral system. This is the system that I've actually used for 33 years to build my business. I ask everyone, not just clients. As I said, people in the Starbucks line, people in the grocery store, and I'm not pushy about it. If we strike up a conversation and it's a good fit, I'll have that conversation. Here's another thing. I always have something to remind me of referrals. I have this sitting on my desk. Do I look like this fits with my persona? It actually does. If you know me, you know I am a huge fan of Walt Disney, his business. I'm a huge fan of just the experience that you get. I've taken my kids there for years. They're grown. We go every chance we get. So why are Mickey Mouse ears or Minnie Mouse ears sitting on my desk? Want to know? It's a reminder to me. Every time I look at that, I remember if I want to go to Disney more times with my kids and my grandkids, I need more clients. And I want more clients. I need to ask everyone I meet, who do you know? Networking events, existing clients, that's a huge one, existing clients. People I meet at conferences, the people that do my hair when I go buy makeup, Starbucks, on a plane. And I'm not pitching people. I just have a conversation with them. And if it's the right time, then I will discuss the problem that I solve. And then I shut up and listen because it's not about me. It's a conversation. It's not a pitch. I don't do pitches. I don't do pushy. I don't walk up to someone and vomit my elevator pitch all over them. I build a relationship first. I ask questions and I listen. I find out what they do. What are they working on? What are their challenges? If it fits, I say something. If it doesn't, it's been a great interaction, and maybe I made somebody's day better. It's important to keep that in your mind. That's it. No pressure, no hard sell, just a conversation. If they're interested, great. If not, that is also okay, even if I have that conversation with them. But I always end with this. Even if this wasn't for you, if you know somebody that might have this issue, I'd love to have a conversation with them. And I incentivize referrals. This is a part a lot of people miss. I tell everyone, if you send someone my way and they sign up, I pay you 30% of the first month. Every time. Why? Because it works. I had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago and said, if you refer 3 people to me who sign up for my $4.97 program, monthly program that I have, it's just one, you've gotten your first month free. And guess what? I have 3 new clients. It's a win for me. It's a win for them because I'm also putting money in their pocket. And I will tell you, most business owners I talk to are terrified to give up that little bit of revenue. The conversations I've had, it's a challenge. They think that's their money, but it's not your money yet. You haven't even earned it. And I know that client wouldn't exist without that person's referral. So I'm not losing money. I'm investing in a system that brings me more clients that I didn't have to chase, and I didn't have to go pay an ads company to give me somebody cold that may or may not be an opportunity for me. And I always follow up. That is where most people drop the ball. You ask for a referral once, nothing happens, you give up. When I had this conversation with him, I asked how many times he had actually gone back to potential referrals, or even someone that had reached out. Once. That's what I hear from most business owners. Once. I don't want to be pushy. Like nothing's going to happen. You cannot give up. Here's some of the things that I do to stay in touch. I send something that is valuable to them. I might pick up my phone, and I do it all the time, and just send them a little note, a little video note, because this is much better than a text. If I see something, I just sent something to a client earlier today. I watched a TikTok, and I was like, ooh, that client needs to hear this. It's not for me, but it's important for them. And then I check in every couple of weeks, but I track that in a system. I'll just say, hey, how's things going? Nothing about my offer. But before that conversation is over, I will always ask, is there anybody that you've come into contact with, because we forget we're busy, that might need to work with me? That's persistent, not pushy, and there is a difference. Persistence is professional. People appreciate that. The number of times I've reached back out to a client 5, 6, 7, 8 times over even a year, 2 years, and they come back and they go, I really appreciate you continuing to ask, because it wasn't the right time, but now it is the right time. 5 years later, I've had a client that actually came back to me because of that follow-up. I didn't disappear. Don't disappear. If you're really serious about this, and it's not an easy gig, you have to be consistent. All right, let's talk about the referral tracking system. You have to make it systematic. We talked about that. Asking for referrals is great, but if you're not tracking it, you are literally leaving money on the table. And again, simple system. I have a complicated system now. It's not really complicated. It was complicated for whoever built it for me, but the magic is now it gives me the same stuff automatically. But here's what you're going to do to get started, because again, we talked about this right here, brick at a time. So we're going to create a spreadsheet. Guess what? Yesterday had 5 columns. Today has 4. First column is name. I actually separate those first name, last name. And that is going to be anybody you asked a referral for. So if it's Susie Sunshine, you're going to have Susie Sunshine. Number 2, date asked. What was the first time you talked to them? You've got to track it because you have to know when to follow up. Then referral received. And if Susie sends me 6, she's going to have 6 entries in that. You have to know who's sending you referrals so you can also go back to them. The 4th column, follow-up date. When are you going to check back in? Every week, every 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 30 days, 60 days, whatever that is. And as soon as you do that, when I first started doing this and setting it in my spreadsheet, I picked up my phone and I put it as a reminder in my calendar. But that's it. 4 columns. It takes 5 minutes for you to set this up. Every week, you're going to look at that spreadsheet and ask yourself, who haven't I asked yet? Who do I need to follow up with? Who sent me a referral that I need to pay for? And thank, because those are different. Those are different. And then you take the action. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's say you have 50 people in your network. Just 50. Nobody has just 50 anymore. That is a very small network. I would believe that you would have far more than that, but we're going to go conservative. If you ask each of them, who do you know, when it's appropriate, and only 10% of them sent you 1 referral, that's 5 new leads for whatever it is you're offering. Let's say you convert 40% of those, which again, if it's a warm lead and you have a relationship, it's probably going to be more. But that's 2 new clients. If those clients are worth $500 a month each, that's $1,000 a month in new revenue. Do the math. Math doesn't lie. In a year, that's $12,000 because you had a conversation with people. And it's $0 in ad budget. Now let's look at 100 people, 200 people. Or you ask the same 50 people every quarter, because I ask every one of my clients every quarter. Note to clients, it's that time. I'm coming for you. We're going to have another conversation. But my clients know that. The math, it adds up fast. And remember, I pay 30% of the first month to anyone who refers a client. So let's do the math on that. Let's say someone refers a client who signs up for my $497 a month program. I pay the referral person $149.10. That client stays with me for an average of 6 months, and my clients typically stay longer than that, but we're going to go 6 months. That's $2,982 in revenue. I lost $149. I didn't lose anything because I gained $2,833. Do the math on that percentage of return for just having a conversation. And show me an ad campaign that can ever get you that percent on your return, because it is not out there. And again, I'm saying stuff, like I said, I'm no BS, I'm no fluff, I'm no hype. There's a lot of ad companies out there that want to argue, and I will take any of them any day. Let's talk about it, because I've seen it in a couple of very big industries. And the fact is, they were taking advantage. I see it over and over again. You have to be careful. This is not complicated, guys. It's not. Again, I'm not about fancy software when you're getting started, even fancy software after that. You do not need a marketing degree. You need a spreadsheet, a system. What you really need is some guts to ask. All right, so here's what I want you to do this week. Number 1, make a list of 50 people. Get your paper and your pen out and make the list. Again, if you want to just listen to me and not take the action, that's on you, but I'm probably not for you. I'm here for people that want to actually move things forward. So make a list of 50 people. Current clients, past clients, networking contacts, friends, family, people you've met at conferences. Take this little guy right here and look in your contacts. I'm pretty sure you probably have more than 50. Write those 50 names down. Number 2, ask them, but not all at once. This week, let's just reach out to 10. 10's reasonable. Send a message, make a phone call, just have a conversation. Here's how I would go about it. It's what I had the conversation with the client yesterday. Hey, I've been thinking about you, and I really am working on growing my business. And I wanted to ask, who do you know that's struggling with? Insert the problem that you're solving. And again, here's the big deal. Shut up and listen. We want to fill the silence. Guys, don't fill the silence. Stop talking and see what happens. Set up your referral incentive. Decide what you're going to make that offer at. 30% of the first month, a discount, a bonus, whatever it is. Make it clear, make it easy, make it worth their while. And tell every single person you ask, if you send someone my way and they sign up, here's what I'll do for you. Action step number 4, track it. Build the spreadsheet. Log the names. Set the follow-up reminders. Add them to your calendar. This is a system. It's not a one-time task. And I told my client yesterday, I built a 33-year business in multiple markets. It's not like I've stayed in the same market. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been a business owner. I've worked in a variety of fields and owned a variety of businesses and helped a ton of others. And I built that business and teach others also to build it on relationships and referrals. I don't pay for ads. I've been tempted many times. But I walk what I say. And I'm not special, guys. If you knew my history, if you know my history, I'm not special. I'm not doing anything you can't do. I know you can do it. I have seen every type of person use the system and be successful. I'm just asking the question most of you are too scared to ask. Who do you know? Stop spending money on ads to reach strangers when you've got warm leads sitting right in front of you. Stop waiting for referrals to poof, magically happen when you could be systematically asking for them. Stop hoping and wishing and start asking. Your next client, they're in somebody's network, probably somebody you already know. And if you have a tiny network, well, we're going to talk about that also. So go ask them. I'm Michelle Kay. On Monday, we will dive back in and get on track with our Money and Metrics Mondays. I'm super excited about this opportunity to just share with you. There's no hook in this. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm not pitching anything. I'm doing this as a give back because I know what it's like to start out. I spent years working through and figuring out these problems. And this is my give back. I'm going to show you the systems that every business owner needs, but most don't have, no matter how long you've been in business. And if you want help building your referral system, connect with me. You know how to find me on all the socials. Let's fix it. If you have something that one of my clients needs, I am going to refer you. I have a variety of individuals that I refer people to all the time. With that, again, I'm the Michelle K. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.